Hello and welcome to the Three Geeks podcast. My name is Jason. I'm joined by Max, Dan, and making his triumphant return, we have Mike from McGTV. We've missed you the last couple of weeks, buddy. I'm not going to lie.
2 weeks off, man, and one of them being the holiday. Yeah, good to be back. Good to be back.
What the hell?
What did you do?
What happened?
A trailer just started playing in the background on YouTube.
Oh my goodness, we're gonna get
My triumphant return.
You've broken things already.
That's right.
Something's got to go wrong.
YouTube's like, welcome back, Mike.
That's proof that we are the Three Geeks podcast.
Yeah,
That's right.
that's our certificate of authenticity.
I'm just glad the headphones were working because Mike, 2 weeks ago when we came downstairs, we didn't have a computer working. So Philip spent the first 15 minutes going into the podcast building us a brand new computer so we could go live. It was pretty fun.
You hear soldering in the background and stuff.
Like the mad scientists in UHF, hold these.
All right, let's get the business out of the way. Audible. Go to audibletrial.com/3geeks for any of your audiobook needs. I waited in line this morning at 5 a.m. I'm not going to say for what because I know my kids are watching the podcast. But we were listening to the Bruce Campbell audiobook, and I got my mother-in-law to sign up for Audible right there with the coupon code 3Geeks because she says Bruce Campbell's voice is soothing. So if you want a soothing voice to listen to when you go to sleep, download Audible and download If Chins Could Kill.
Did you let your kids watch this podcast?
I sometimes don't. They do. They turn it on.
That's fucking bad parenting, dude. It's bad parenting.
Whatever, Max.
Also, if you've already read the Bruce Campbell book, I would strongly advise you to go look up William Shakespeare's Star Wars and download the Audible book. It is hilarious.
Oh, God.
Wow. So, yeah, tonight we are going to talk about Star Wars Episode 4, the DC crossover, and a bunch of other fun stuff. Van Damme Nation will make its return this week. Max and I will be doing Bloodsport. My wife and I got the privilege of seeing Collateral Beauty a few weeks early, so we'll be releasing the review for that. Anime-Niacs will be back tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they did, in fairness, try to go live last week, but YouTube was all jacked up.
Tuesday.
And I'm working on getting the sports nerds back.
Yeah, you said you're going to get Coach Urban Meyer on the podcast.
I will find a way to get you Urban Meyer.
Sports nerds will happen the second you say Urban Meyer is going to be on the podcast.
How's your fantasy football team going?
Fucking terribly. It is atrocious right now. I mean, at least one of the sports nerds is actually going to make it to the playoffs. Philip is looking like a bunch of hot garbage. My team's been trashed since fucking.
Who's making it from
week
sports
4.
nerds?
Karf.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, fucking. He's trouncing me right now.
You know who else is going to make the playoffs? This guy.
Yeah, dude. Who's not in the playoffs? What's got 2 thumbs and is fucking sorry as fuck he ever made that super awesome trophy that I can't seem to win.
And dude, Rondell is going to solidify his place as first today.
Fuck up. I fucking hate that dude, Rondell.
He went into this week tied for first, and he is beating the other guy for first place. So that trophy.
This season has just been god awful. Anyway, that's for sports nerds.
So yeah, we were talking about the Guardians of the Galaxy trailer going into this, so we might as well kick it off with that. Max.
What, man? You got me all depressed right now, dude.
Because you lost the fantasy football?
Yeah, man. My whole season is gone.
Oh, here, you can help me rant. So I'm with my kids last night. We took them to see Santa Claus at in Carroll, Ohio, which it's kind of, I don't know why we were there. You blink, you see the whole town, whatever. But I'm sitting there and I'm watching all these kids take turns sitting on Santa's lap. And I realize as an adult watching this, it's a very weird tradition. I mean, extremely weird to see kids sitting on a strange grown man's lap. Does anybody else picked up on that?
No one else has kids.
Yeah, no, I don't really care. But now we just lost all of our viewers from Carroll, Ohio. Thanks.
Whatever. I mean, it's just the Santa that we're losing, really. I mean, it's like
It's not. I'm not just particularly saying that that Santa is weird. I'm just saying how weird it is that it happens in general.
Like, what if Santa's getting down to what's going on here?
We spend all year as parents keeping our kids away from strangers, and then this one time a year, we're like, go sit on this grown man's lap. We don't know this grown man. I'm just saying it's weird. Anyway, Guardians of the Galaxy. Dan.
You're forgetting the Easter Bunny too. 2 times a year.
That's it.
Yeah, you know.
Fair. Dan?
Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah, the trailer's awesome. I really, really hope that they, didn't put all the funny parts onto the trailer. But if they didn't, it should be great.
God, we had such a deep conversation before we went live.
Oh yeah, it's like, I do really enjoy the way they're obviously using Drax. They're using Batista. I mean, like, he's not the greatest of actors. He's been in a few movies now, and he's never been given really a wide range of things to do. That might be for a reason. But like, I'm not trying to like dog the dude because nobody else but a terrible actor could play Drax the way he does, and it works very, very well for the character that they wrote, and they found a way to really, really make him funny. Again, like, that my fear is Dan's fear that they might have shown us everything, and I hope that then I like the Groot, little baby Groot is doing pretty cool. Mike, did you check this one out?
I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot.
No,
I am Groot.
You don't. I am Groot after the I am Groot. Don't ever I am Groot.
I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot.
Dude, Vin Diesel is like, I'm gonna sue. Crap, dude, stealing my lines.
No. That translates into Diesel just saying, "I am Groot."
I am Groot.
I think baby Groot's adorable.
Yeah,
he's absolutely. I didn't know how I was going to feel about it. I didn't know if the chick would get old or not, but I don't think it's going to. This movie looks like it's going to be as fun, if not more fun, than the original, which is pretty awesome. And at this point, like, now it's not like whether Marvel's movies are going to be good or not. It's just like, oh man, it's going to be a good 2 hours. Like, we're at that point where we're not even worried about it being bad.
But
sorry, go ahead.
But at some point, it's going to be. I mean, they're going to trip over something, and then you've got a bad movie. Well, maybe it's just one, and
it's not even like they haven't done it yet. I mean, Iron Man 2 is a movie that they made. Iron Man 3 is a movie that they made. Like, who likes those movies?
I like Iron Man 3.
We like to bitch about them, so I guess we kind of like.
You liked Iron Man 3 when we saw it together?
Nah, dude. I mean, like, I don't like it. It was just because I thought it was better than Iron Man 2.
What I'm gonna say about Iron Man 3, Iron Man 3, I think is a good Shane Black movie. It's not necessarily a good Marvel film.
I am Groot.
That's the truth. Film. I think it's a great film.
I mean, because I don't share Dan's like hatred for the Ben Kingsley switch.
I don't love that actually.
But that made me sad. I was just like, man, like, because I thought he still did it well. He's still Sir fucking Ben Kingsley. But
he's a great actor. I mean, he was a great actor in what? Blood Rain.
Yeah, God, dude, no.
It doesn't mean the movie was good, but Kingsley's on.
He's in Robot Overlord too with Gillian Anderson.
Yeah, I saw that come through the other day, and I was like, nah.
But I just thought that it would have been better if they just kept him as the super evil fucking dude. Like, just have him be bad. Like,
I mean, how much more badass would that be? That you just see Sir Ben Kingsley like chuck on the rings of power and just be like, "Roar, I'm the Mandarin." I mean that's what I want.
Like, okay. How about the Mandarin has like the last fucking Infinity Stone, and because X, Y, and Z, the Mandarin's wearing it as one of the rings of power. Fucking now that oh my god.
Oh, I am Groot. I'm Groot.
Yeah, exactly. So next subject. Or actually, even no, this Guardians 2 movie looks fucking awesome. I can't wait to see it.
It absolutely does. But let's talk about something that wasn't so awesome. This 4-part DC crossover, which one is not particularly great advertisement because it was far from a 4-part crossover. Thank God it wasn't 4 parts because, But so I watched Supergirl and I really like the show. I'm a big fan, but you know the crossover part of the show happened in the last 25 seconds of Supergirl. So you know the episode, it doesn't count in the crossover. They can keep saying it was 4-part, but it wasn't because that 20 seconds is in the beginning of the Flash. So yeah, you don't need to see Supergirl as part of the crossover. And I just thought it was long and badly scripted. They make these crossovers to try to pull fans into the other shows that are, you know, loyalists to the other shows, or hey guys, Arrow's better now. We're going to show you that Arrow's better by doing this crossover. You didn't convince me that Arrow's better by this crossover because every episode, like Mike said and Max were saying earlier during our pre-production meeting, that at the beginning of the Flash, you know, Supergirl has to introduce herself to everybody and call out everybody's name individually, and it would have been fine if that was the only time that happened. But no, it happens again in the Arrow episode. It happens again in the Legends episode. And it's just, there was a lot of shoehorning, and I wish it had been a little tighter. You guys don't have to do these crossovers over 4 episodes. You want to do crossovers with all these characters, write a really good 1.5-hour script, make a made-for-television movie, just call it something else and let it be its own thing as far as crossovers go. And Max and Philip kept telling me how good these CW crossovers had been in the past, or maybe it was just Philip. And yeah, this did not convince me to go back and watch any of the other crossovers. Max?
Well, I mean, like Flash and Arrow, at least they had that. They, you know, Flash started in Arrow.
Yeah, so he had like 2 or 3 episodes to establish that character.
Right, and so like they already know each other. Their whole crew, all their crews know each other. So when it's a Flash and Arrow team up, it's just like, hey, these guys are getting back together again. So that's cool to do. But then, like, you know, yeah, we have like the gigantic introduction. You know, you got to take 2 minutes just to list off everybody's name and their code names. And fucking, I didn't even hear that Mr. Terrific was on. Is he on Arrow then? Is that what show he's on? Does anyone know?
I think he's part of Arrow's team or something on Arrow. I don't know.
Oh my god, I hate him. Like, I like Mr. Terrific. I think he's an awesome character. I think that guy playing Mr. Terrific is terrible. No, I didn't like. Again, it wasn't the best showing. It was the team up episode, so I may not be getting his full range, you know, or whatever. But I don't like it. I know I don't like that Arrow. I'm a Flash guy. I run with the lightning, but no, it's the team up was just meh, you know, and yeah, I think I'm like it would be cool too because like they're still not taking the Marvel model, you know, like they almost did it right. These DC TV shows, they almost did it right, but what you need is, like Jason said, a made-for-TV movie special event where you need your Avengers movie, but it's on TV, and they didn't pull it off. So
this is such a shame, man. They had so much. I thought they had good promotion for it up until the very last trailer. I thought was kind of weak sauce, but some of the earlier trailers were fun, even though none of that stuff ended up in the movie, like the Superhero Fight Club and stuff. But Mike, I know you didn't watch it, but some of your opinions going into it. Are you going to check it out?
I probably will at some point. I just kind of heard brief things about it. I've seen clips of it, of the actual episodes, not just like promo stuff, but like I've seen the actual big finale fight. And I've seen where Supergirl, like what you mentioned, she meets up with everybody and basically has to call out the roster for everyone who is a Supergirl fan to know who the hell all these people are. But I know that also comes with the problem of like there's way too many characters. And that's the thing is like with Avengers and things like that, when you have those characters, even though they've been in their solo movies and stuff, meeting up in one movie, it's only about 6 characters to kind of wrap your head around, 6 main characters at least. But with this, it's like you had the whole Legends of Tomorrow team, which that in and of itself is Avengers sized. You have Team Arrow and each of those characters. And that's the thing is like I prefer Team Flash. I don't mind Team Flash being there. Because at least the on the ground Team Flash team is interesting. I can't stand the Team Arrow team. Like Diggle's okay. I hate Felicity Smoke. She's way too Mary Sue for me. So whenever the fact that they gave her so much to do in all these episodes, and then like she gets all like the quirky taglines like "best team up ever," I'm like cringe.
Oh, God,
that's cringe. That's really cringe.
Yeah,
and that's the thing too. That was what was killing me in the clips I saw of this team up was that the dialogue was way too kind of, I don't know, juvenile for me, even though I know it's on the CW, which is kind of meant for juveniles, but it's just
like easy, you know?
Yeah, it's not subtle. And I've seen them do subtle when they're on their own. Like when the Flash is doing his own thing on his show, there's subtle storytelling there. And there was nothing subtle about, hey, we're going to mishmash all our properties together here. Like I'll give Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this. Mm-hmm. Even in its beginning days when it was having to mention Thor, the Dark World, and stuff like that, at least that was more subtle than this. It wasn't thanks, Thor, who was from Asgard and who came to Earth with the Avengers a couple of years ago in their movie called The Avengers. They were like, man, Thor blew into town. That sucks. And that was it. But I might see the rest of it eventually. I don't know. I need to catch up on my Flash, though, because of the holidays. But, yeah.
I checked out the Flash. It's still like the same product, and I dig that. You know, it's not. You know, they're not doing anything.
I will say this for the Flash, though. It's made me like that Draco Malfoy actor finally, because I can't stand him in anything else he's done. But then all of a sudden in this one, I'm like,
he's still playing the same guy. He's the same guy.
I can take it here because he's more of an adult, and at least he's acting more like an adult in this than he has been in other stuff. Like
this dude,
that's
has
all
been cast as the same guy his whole. I mean, hey, if it gets him a check, you know, I'm not hating on him, but yeah, it's just like the same guy. He's just that dick.
I just need him to accentuate his punctuation a little bit more. Be like Barry Allen. Like instead of Harry Potter.
Oh, dude! If he calls him Potter one time, that would just be great. If he just spits Potter at him real quick. Potter.
The Flash. Oh, I spit on that one. Dan.
Exactly.
I am Groot.
Dan, do you watch any of these shows?
No, no, I didn't.
Well, don't watch this crossover. It's not going to pull you in.
It doesn't sound good anyway, so I'm kind of glad I didn't.
Although apparently these are some of the highest ratings the shows have gotten in a while, so they're probably going to do more of them. Hopefully better.
You know,
but as we know, ratings don't always mean they're good.
But I mean, hopefully that gives them inspiration to do better.
I think if they went like TV, movie, special event, you know, and then you could have like some little team up stuff. Like on every show, you know, that's the pre-event, you know?
I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Smallville did this concept way better back a couple of years ago. Oh. I feel bad about when they had the JSA on. They had
absolutely did.
It was just 2 episodes, and they turned it into one movie.
Yeah, they absolutely did.
They didn't have the whole JSA. It was like Hawkman, Stargirl, Dr. Fate, and...
So
I think Starman, maybe. Yeah, well, I mean, there were 4 out of 8, I guess, and then they had not Superman and Green Arrow, but it worked way better there.
Yeah. So,
but even still, that's just like a dedicated. This is a movie they made. You know, they made it an event.
Well, this show pandered a lot too. It's one of the things with Marvel that's worked so well is when they do their team ups, they don't have to reintroduce because they're just going to assume you saw Thor, and if you didn't, then they're just going to assume you know who Thor the character is. And I felt like in each one of these episodes, like we mentioned before, we just kept getting reintroduced to these characters. It's like, don't pander to us, just give us a good product, write a tight script.
And it's like also, if it's good, then if it's supposed to just introduce everybody and, make people from other shows watch your show, then just make it good, and they'll want to watch your show. You know, so I'm saying, like, you don't need to introduce Mr. Terrific and do this all the introductory shit. Just have him be good, and it's like, damn, I really like it. Was that, you know, who the fuck was that? Oh, Mr. Terrific. I'm gonna watch this fucking show. Like
give them genuine character interactions as opposed to just expositing who they are. And I feel that's DC's big thing all around, is that in the movies right now too, it's like it's all expositing. Everyone's just a talking point. No one's a character.
You know, I probably, this would make me kind of want to watch The Flash. Even though I'm going to go back and watch The Flash because I do like this show. I've seen most of the first season. But if I was somebody going into this, like, okay, I'm going to check these characters out for the first time. And again, big fan of season 2 of Supergirl. I didn't really like season 1, but there's no way I'd watch Supergirl. There's no way I'd watch The Flash. There's no way I'd watch Arrow. And I would definitely not watch Legends of Tomorrow based on what this little helping they gave me of that was just, I'd, again, rather watch Max take a shit in a bucket.
No one wants to watch that.
Exactly. That's my point.
I mean, it's the internet. It's the internet. Someone wants to watch it, I'm sure.
No, like, you don't even need to put that out in the universe. Nobody wants to think about that.
Somebody in our chat wrote DC is better. Unfortunately, not in
Better
the
at what?
television movie game. They're not better. They
better at what?
I do like DC Comics better, like reading the comic books for the most part.
Well, I mean, I don't want to completely be a negative thing, because this is completely just a marketing, I feel, mishap with regards to the idea of the crossover for them. Because I remember seeing some episodes of Supergirl in the first season being like, okay, that's fine. I remember enjoying at least the first 3 episodes of Legends last year, and I'm like, okay. And then I just kind of waned off it because I'm like, I got too much to follow already. But stuff like I enjoyed the first 2 seasons of Arrow just fine. It seemed it was a really focused kind of show for those first 2 seasons, and I enjoyed the characters. And yeah, like Max was saying, The Flash still continues on to be intriguing. But when like what you said, the ultimate pandering comes into play, and it's all more about like, yeah, I get it. You're supposed to be hyped to see all these characters together on the screen, but you don't have to keep mentioning how hyped that is.
But I also thought it would be cool if, you know, like the best team up ever line, if they only used, like, they threw it in the promo, it would have been awesome if it was just the promo. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and that would have been a wink and a nod to like what the show is, and that would have worked so well as just an advertisement. And yeah, they could have had that, you know, like at the end of the show, fucking they're walking off, and she's like, "Hey, best team up ever."
Or the editor like left that on the floor like he was supposed to do.
Well, because Barry Allen said Avengers Assemble and everyone's heads just exploded.
Yeah, so I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like, yeah, they could have done it just a little bit better, and, you know, like, it would have just been that much better and it wouldn't have been hard. Cause
I just feel like, because I am a DC fan, but, you know, we watch Batman v Superman. It's like, all right, Suicide Squad's going to be better. It's going to be better. It's going to be our movie. And then Suicide Squad came out, and it was like, it was fun. And then now we're all like, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman's going to be our movie. Like, Marvel just released Doctor Strange and killed it. I just wish DC would stop worrying about Marvel and do more.
I'm going to call it right now. Wonder Woman is not going to be the movie.
Max,
it's not.
I have hope.
And I'm not saying this, you know, like, again, I'm gonna backpedal. This isn't any sort of sexism. I enjoy Wonder Woman as a character. I don't think this movie is going to be good. You know, there's no sexism or whatever.
I think the best part of that was I heard Jason audibly die a little bit when he was like, "Max, come on, no, it hurts." Don't say it. It hurts.
It's not going to be that. I don't think it is.
I hope.
Don't put that away.
But no, actually, the first movie. So if they needed to do any course correcting after Batman v Superman, technically it would be Justice League would be our quote unquote saving grace, because that's the movie that's coming being filmed after everything.
I don't know about that either. They got a lot of work to do.
They really do.
They gotta like. That's I don't think one of them was gonna be as awesome. Palhaco. I'm sorry, I'm butchering your name. I'm sorry, we don't speak Portuguese, but thank you so much for watching us. Awesome.
At least I don't think. Does any of you guys speak Portuguese?
Put it in the chat. Put it in our chat, and I'll translate it because they'll probably say something like "fuck you guys." That show was awesome or something.
Well, he just asked if we spoke Portuguese.
Sorry.
Did you see like there's 3 episodes of Archer where he's like learning Portuguese just because he likes to kill people and speak Portuguese?
Another issue with the crossover, and then we can move on, was I felt like the Arrow episode was doing more to set up the next episode of Arrow than it was at all to feed into this bigger crossover event. I know that they were, spoiler alert, kidnapped by aliens, but everything that was happening to them, I felt like was setting up future Arrow episodes more so than doing justice to our crossover.
It was the big 1-0-0 for Arrow, so that's why.
See?
But also, like, do you remember, like, there's they're having promos for each show's next show after the big team up show. So like, there's no, you know what I'm saying? It's like, this is what's wrong with the prequel. You know, everyone's going to live, and it's like, so the Flash is fighting some other dude next week, huh? I guess this just gets wrapped up. You know, like,
yeah, because it's like the Flash. You're gonna have to sacrifice yourself. Okay, I will. And then you see next week on the Flash,
fighting some other dude. You know, like,
something though. I mean, if they wanted to do that, they could go like next week on the Flash, if he survives.
Tune in.
You know, it's like they just made you a cobbled together trailer. You know?
That's too clever, man.
No, I would make.
And they kill him off in the show.
Well,
like,
no, it's like you make the trailer, and then you know, it's like someone's like, "Where's Barry?" And then you know, yada yada, and like they're just using regular lines that you know, it's like, "Oh, he went to the bathroom," you know, or whatever. But like. You make it seem like he's not there or something.
I mean, that type of advertising does just kind of smack of like, who gives a shit? Everyone knows the shows are only on like episode 9 or 8, so they know we're not going to kill off our title characters.
It's supposed to be mid-season breaks for everybody. So like the big episode in each, you know, like instead of making this thing the big thing to go into mid-season, they're having this big thing, and then they're going into mid-season with another big episode to cap off everybody on their own respective shows. Which, that's another like slip up. I think, like, you know, just.
But it could be a different Flash.
Now, see what they should have done is these crossovers, especially if you're going to do 4 shows in one crossover. You know, go through your season of your show, let your shows progress, and then do a summer event, a 2-hour. Made-for-TV summer movie featuring these characters. I just think it would work out better, but I'm not an executive. These guys make way more money than I do, and it seems to be working for them. So I guess pandering works.
And also, you have to realize, as much as it's made for DC fans, it's also made for that CW demographic, which, sorry to say, that you don't have to think too hard. They're like, we don't want them to think too much about this. Just give them.
I don't know. It's like, it's not even, you know, it's almost insulting. You know, it's like, to make it better wouldn't necessarily even be that. You don't have to change much, and it would just be, you know, exponentially better.
It was better than that Walking Dead episode I just watched.
Oh my God, walking around in the woods with the Walking Dead,
and a character that nobody cares about. Another mini rant.
They gotta get that screen time because they're gonna be the new, you know. Dude, as soon as they kill off the last few main guys, then these are the new crew.
Andrew Lincoln and Norman Reedus have the deal of a lifetime because they get paid for every episode that their name shows up in the credits, which is every episode, and they're in like 4 episodes a season now. It's ridiculous, but they're cashing their $600,000 check. So,
whatever, man. I want to see Chappelle's shows Walking Dead at this point.
Oh, dude,
that was way more fun.
Netflix. Did you hear about that?
Yep, I heard about that.
Yeah,
specials and the like. It's like, yep,
that is fantastic.
I am getting ready for that dude to take another trip to Africa.
I'm rich, bitch.
Yep,
he's gonna get that Netflix money and run.
I mean, as long as he puts out a few, you know, like let me get another, you know, stand up, let me get another show or something.
Yeah,
and then you want to dip out. You know, like that dude's funny. I just like to see him work. So
I just hope, like I said, I just hope his mental health stays intact this time around.
Yeah, you know, I mean, like, hey, do it till you can't, and then take a break. You know, like if that works for you, if that works for Mr. Chappelle, it works for me.
I mean, does Netflix really have censors for their shows?
No, you can. No,
Yep, there you go.
Netflix is like the Wild fucking West.
Yeah, they do. I mean, they signed Chris Rock for a 3 special deal, and then they signed Chappelle for a 3 special deal. So I am pretty excited.
The Sandler series or the movie they just made. Thanks, Max.
Hey, it's not my fault your mind went there. And then you had to go drag everybody else down in the mud.
I'm waiting for Sandler and Steven Seagal seem to be releasing a shit ton of movies a year. I want them to cross over and make a movie together. I will fucking watch that shit. Steven Seagal and Adam Sandler are above the law again.
I'll watch that just so I can put it on my worst of whatever year that comes out list. Because I know it's gonna suck.
Could it just be like Steven Seagal slowly kicking Sandler for an hour and a half?
Yeah. And Sandler's just making all these stupid faces while the foot is coming. Like,
you loved him in Under Siege. You loved him in Little Nicky. Now the character from Under Siege and the character from Little Nicky and the crossover event of the lifetime. Directed by Quentin Tarantino as he was in Little Nicky. Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, he was like a street preacher.
Yeah.
Okay. Jesus. There you go.
All right, let's talk about Star Wars. Oh wait, first.
Miracles.
I do want to say that quick plug for our channel. Wednesday night, we will be doing a Westworld recap review show, which we're hoping to get Mike a part of, which I have not mentioned to Mike yet. But speaking of, we've been talking about bad television for so long. I want to mention something that is amazing. If you have not checked out Westworld, do yourself a favor. Go sign up for a free trial of HBO Now, and you catch up on that show in a day. It is an easy watch.
Oh, yeah, especially now since you have like 9 episodes to watch.
Tonight's the finale, so
tonight's the finale. Yep.
Are you watching that like right after we do that?
No, I gotta Liz has a friend coming over to watch The Walking Dead, so I get to watch people.
Stupid show, dude.
That is the most.
Everybody else is jumping ship from The Walking Dead over to Westworld because the ratings are showing that.
That was the most teenage response ever. No, I can't because Liz has people fucking coming over and.
I'm not allowed to. I'm behind on Westworld. I'm 1 episode behind.
Oh, dude. Oh my god. I would watch that episode, then watch the new episode, and that would still be better than watching anything in The Walking Dead.
Dude, it is the best show on television.
The Walking Dead?
No, Westworld right now. The Walking Dead.
Yeah, I was about to be surprised out of my pants. I was like, what the fuck?
No, The Walking Dead just needs to get back to basics. Season 1 was so good because it was 6 episodes, and now they're up to 18. Oh. It's like, guys, I know you make a lot of money, but you're eventually going to lose your audience. And I was listening to Robert Kirkman on Screen Junkies saying that they don't have an ending in sight for the show. They plan on it going into seasons 12, 13, 14. I can't imagine that they have anywhere else that they can walk after a couple more seasons.
Here's what I'm hoping, and here's what I'm kind of hoping.
I really like Negan on the show, though.
Is what's going to be a big TV crossover, though. You find out that all these shows, you have Walking Dead, you got Game of Thrones, they all are run by the Delos Corporation, and they're all their own little West worlds. So that's what I'm kind of hoping is revealed after season 14. It's been a Delos company this entire time.
Yep. Awesome. All these places.
Andrew Lincoln is a host.
The fan theory that Walter White started the zombie apocalypse.
Nice.
In Walking Dead. Have you guys heard that?
With his strain or with his
product? Yeah, because I guess in season 1 or 2, Merle mentions how he was down in New Mexico and nothing's better than that blue meth. And they're saying that, somebody tried to recreate Walter White's blue meth and then they inadvertently created this zombie apocalypse that we have now.
Or maybe
I'd be all for that.
Maybe he did it.
Yeah. There you go. No, don't connect this to Breaking Bad whatsoever.
I mean, like Breaking Bad's still the shit. You got to watch how it happened. Just because the end product is garbage doesn't mean you don't watch. Like how it went down.
It's true. All right, guys, let's talk about Star Wars Episode 4, which I am really loving. The news sites, like the legitimate news sites, comicbookmovie.com, or like the nerd news sites, releasing trailers for the sequel to Rogue One. Like, click here and see Disney releases the sequel to Rogue One trailer early, and it's Episode 4. I think that's hysterical. But Max, as a guy who's like Star Wars most of your life, this is the movie that started it for you. What was it about this film that really pulled you in?
I have no idea. I fell in love with everything. It's like they've had documentaries just talking about how George Lucas kind of borrowed from all like the greats and all these iconic images and slapped it all together to make this kind of grand opera, and it's a real easy story to get into. Just like, hey, the kid's all on his own, and he becomes he's got a great destiny and yada yada, and fucking you see that kind of play out. And it's a throwback to a lot of things, and also he innovated so much, and it all started with this one. Like you're just fascinated by the visuals of it. Like now you kind of watch it, looks super chintzy, but it still holds up in its own way. And then like whenever he makes one of these Star Wars movies, he's just like advancing the industry as far as what he can show you on the screen. So I mean, yeah, it all started with A New Hope. I really like this movie. It's my second favorite of the Star Wars movies, but it introduces everybody, and it's a great zany adventure, and it's fucking awesome. Episode 4. But Mike, how do you feel about it?
Yeah, I enjoy it. I've told this story before, how like when I was really little, it was the last movie I saw in the Star Wars trilogy. I saw Jedi first, then Empire, then so the story, I was like, why is everyone acting like they don't know each other? Why is that dude in the black still alive? But I still like A New Hope. I can still appreciate what it meant to people in pop culture, and especially in nerd culture and in movie making especially. I mean, I agree with Max. It's very dated, especially if you watch the non-special edition stuff, which, by the way, thank you for that Christmas present, Dan, or early Christmas present. He hooked me up with some of the non-special editions, and
not a problem.
Yeah, it was. It's still got a special place in my heart. Like Max said, it really taps into those archetypes and those particular types of characterizations. Still, my favorite there is Han Solo. It always will be one of my favorites there because of the sure as hell smuggler and everything. Even when I was a little kid, something just about that cocksure like attitude he had really kind of I connected with even as a young kid. But yeah, it's still I wholeheartedly recommend. I have to say it is my second favorite movie as well out of all the movies so far. But yeah, Dan.
Star Wars things. One, it has brand new special effects, which are, well, back in the time, they were awesome. Like a film, that's like the one thing that they keep. Second thing is that it's such a broad, simple story that you could fit whatever you want into it. Lucas borrowed so much from, Hidden Fortress and, other. But, I mean, it's just point where it's just like the hero's journey story that whatever you want to it, and that's I think what makes it great, because it's easily accessible to kids. Whatever you can say, it means whatever. I've seen like 5 philosophy and Star Wars books written by different authors, and they could all say something different if I really wanted to read them, but I don't. But yeah, I mean, it's a great film, and everything fits together nicely. And it is also my second favorite Star Wars, because it has to be Empire. And JT.
It's actually my third favorite Star Wars movie, but one of the things that I think that...
What is wrong with you?
Sorry, I like the way you live your life. I liked Return of the Jedi. What can I say? But Empire is still my favorite. But teddy bears. Okay. Anyway, we'll talk about the teddy bears when we get to Return of the Jedi. But I think it was just the scope of the story. It was so vast, and you start off with this, this kid who essentially is poor, doesn't really have a lot going on for himself, and then he ends up saving the universe by the end of the movie. And it's the journey that he goes through to get there. Space battles were really got it for me. I loved watching those space battles. It was so cool. And I think I saw Star Wars way after all of you. I think I saw it for the first time. I in '96 when they were re-released. I think is when I first saw them. So I first saw it on the big screen in the theater. I'm pretty sure. At least that's my first recollection of seeing Star Wars. And I just remember being at the theaters. I think I was with our buddy Fury, and just watching it with him, of all people, the Star Wars movie. And I think that's why I liked the prequels when I first saw them, was because I was with Fury, and just the amount of excitement he has for Star Wars really translates over. And just seeing that epic story told on a big screen, it really drew me in.
Oh, and the sound effects. Gotta love the sound effects.
Han shoots first.
Han does shoot first.
I mean,
yeah, prequels and Life Day special aside. And plus, Star Wars is such a big universe, and I don't think we've fully seen that realized, but I think we're about to see how big this universe is going forward.
Well, I mean, it's really... Sorry, go ahead, Mike. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. That was the one thing too that stuck out to me. It was like the first movie where I actually kind of understood, like, wow, there's a whole world outside just this story that's going on right now. Like, they keep referencing like other things, like the Kessel Run and stuff like that. And I'm just like, there's other stuff. Like, I just remember being a little kid and being like, I want to see those too. And that was the first time it ever clicked in my head. I'm like, there's stories within the story. Oh.
When I was a little kid, I always thought that Obi-Wan was saying the Clone Wars.
The Clone Wars?
Yes.
Oh, man.
I remember the rumors of 9 movies. Like, I remember floating around the school. There's actually 9 Star Wars movies, but 6 of them are impossible to find. I remember going to the video store looking for episodes 1 through 3 and 7 through 9.
You could actually go to the video store and look for episodes 1 through 3. Just like, oh.
Like I said, man, the prequels, I enjoyed all 3 of them when I saw them in the theater.
I loved them. And then, like, I don't know, it's like this weird Star Wars, like, I had beer goggles on except for Star Wars, and I couldn't see a bad thing. And then you watch it again, and you're just like, wait a minute, what? Like, it's like they did a Jedi mind trick on you.
Yeah, like I said, I went and saw the first one. I think I saw it 3 times with Fury in the theater, and his excitement for the trilogy just really like rubbed off on me, and I'm like, yeah, this is awesome. And we were just really getting into it. And then I remember running to the store and I bought episode 1. I took it home to watch with my dad. I'm like, this is great. And then like we're watching it, I'm like, what the hell is this movie? Like, is this the same thing I watched in the theaters? This can't be, because I remember being so excited.
Dude, you had the same you have your Stormtrooper helmet on. You know what I'm saying? Like, because apparently they can't even see anything that's in reality as far as like trying to shoot it and hit it.
Well, I remember when episode 1 first came out. It was, how could you not be hyped to go in to see it? I mean, I think I only saw episode 1 once in the theaters, and at the time, because of what were we, like, probably 16 or 15 or something like that,
Freshman.
Freshman or sophomore year in high school. And it's like, okay, you know what? It's fine for what it was. It's not quite the same as the movies I grew up watching, but I at that point, I hadn't seen it repeated times to kind of be like, no, that kind of sucks, actually. I remember as soon as I went to college, and that was around the time Attack of the Clones, and I was in college when Revenge of the Sith first came on. That's when I was kind of like, all right, I'm curious just to see how bad these can be. Like, Phantom Menace, I went in with some optimism, and then the other 2, I'm like, all right, I know what I'm expecting when I go in there now. But let's see where they take it.
Yeah. Next week we'll be taking a break we won't be taking a break from Star Wars. We'll be doing our Life Day commentary, and then the following week we'll be doing Empire Strikes Back, and actually probably Rogue One review too.
That's in chronological order too, so that's kind of good plotting there, Jason.
Nice.
Complete accident. Yeah, Once Upon a Time happens to end today, which means I can steal the living room for us to set up shop up there to do this recording. But Dan, you got any video game news?
Oh.
I saw some floating around in the chat group.
Yeah, I sent you something, and then I completely forgot what it was.
Last of Us 2 trailer that Mike sent.
Oh, yeah. The trailer for that is actually pretty badass.
Yeah.
I don't have a PS4, so I'm not going to be able to play the game, so I don't really care. Also, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
Mm-hmm.
They dropped the trailer, well, a very, very short trailer, and, you know, the news that they're making it, and it looks pretty awesome.
Is it?
I would say go check that
I
out.
haven't seen it. Is it more like Marvel vs. Capcom 2 or Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
It's more like Tekken Tag Tournament. It looks like, because you've only got
that wasn't
it's 2-on-2.
I was just wondering about like the art, or like the style of it. Like, is it still that like
3D-ish?
weird?
I'd say it looks more like 2. Well, it's 3D-ish, but
more cartoony.
I don't know. It looked bright and
like
shiny.
Celsius.
Mega Man was kicking ass. That's all I really know.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't know. I didn't really like Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
I liked it because it seemed like they had the planning to bring in like guys nobody would know until later. Like they added like Rocket Raccoon and Deadpool, which we know Deadpool, but then when that stuff came out, they're charging $40 for a used copy for the game. So great foresight there, Capcom. And that's all I got.
Nice. Yeah, Last of Us 2 could make me almost want to get a PS4. I've been kind of debating wanting to get one. That's definitely a game.
Bro, dude, get the VR.
Well, I got a 4K TV, and I'd like to have a 4K system.
Yeah, do it. Get the Pro, get the VR, and come over and play that shit.
The VR too? Jesus.
Yeah, get all that shit.
Yeah. And then we'll watch Life Day on it.
Yeah, oh god.
Life Day in 4K.
Yeah, see, we can wear the helmet while watching. What the hell was his name? Scratchy.
God.
Wear his helmet. It'll be like we're actually in the special.
We should record a commercial.
You only
for,
have this minute.
And you got to give up the masturbation chair.
Dr. Itchy's post-masturbation conditioner. Pick it up at all retail stores. That's kind of a preview of what you can expect from next week. So next week's podcast will be slightly different. We'll be still live at 8 o'clock. We may run through some quick news topics, but for the most part, we will be doing a commentary of Star Wars, the Christmas special or holiday special. What the fuck's it called?
Life Day special.
It's holiday special, but yeah, just call it Life Day.
So
I think I'm going to start celebrating Life Day instead of Christmas, but I also, like...
Keeping up with the Kashyyykians or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
And B. Arthur sings.
yes, she does.
Yeah,
That's my favorite part.
Yeah, that's the only decent part of the whole thing.
It's
I think
decent part of the whole special.
You guys don't like meeting Chewbacca's family or seeing
God,
Boba Fett?
yeah, there's that awesome cartoon, like...
Oh yeah, that's
Two-thirds of the
my
way
my second favorite part when I seem to be missing for like half the cartoon.
Yeah, freaking Boba Fett bitch slaps a Tyrannosaurus Rex or something.
I still think we should do this Saturday night. We may change this to Saturday night. We're gonna have a post meeting about this. But anyway, check out audible.com. Go to audibletrial.com/3geeks for all of your audiobook needs. Check out Mike over at youtube.com/Mike McGTV. Definitely check out Remake Revolution. There are 3 episodes. He's 3 episodes deep, and all 3 of them are just as entertaining as each other. I'm not saying that because Mike is on this show. I'm telling you as somebody who's a fan of podcasts, and Max will vouch for it, that it is definitely worth your time. The editing, Mike, the editing on it is fantastic as well. I remember listening to the first episode and then talking to Max and Dan afterwards. Like, man, if we edited our podcast, we would sound really good.
Right. I don't know if it would even help, but it couldn't get any worse. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I don't know. I feel that live is like an art form, though. Like,
I do like going live because we just so off the cuff. But check out
there's times and places for it. So yeah,
absolutely. Check out our buddy Domo Batman over at Arc Matter on YouTube. Thanks for the shout out every week, man. We appreciate it. And the shout outs for McGTV. I know Mike appreciates it too. Definitely shows on our views, so we appreciate it. And from all of us at the 3 Geeks podcast and Philip.
Philip, hey man, get better.
We will see you guys next week. Bye.